Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing today? I know this is a really late upload, but I was really busy today. I had doctor's appointments and stuff like that, and me and Andrew spent the day together. So, first, grab your coffee and chocolate. Because you just never know with me or this country what's really going on. So a friend of mine and Sean's that he used to work with, okay, or she used to work with him, let me put it that way. So I was just talking to her, and she's just like, did you hear about this? And I'm like, hear about what? Because you know me, I don't watch the news, right? I don't watch TV. I don't watch cable or anything like that. So she's just like, Chips, look it up. So I did. And I'm like, oh no, not again. Not again, not again. So who's it going to be this time? Who's going to have to go to work and not get paid this time? Yeah. I'm like, come on. You know, one of the last times when the government shut down, and it shut down for like those 3 months, 4 months, whatever it was, remember? Sean had to go to work every day and not get a paycheck. Oh my God. It literally took me and Sean almost a year to recover from that. We lived off of our savings first, right? And then when that ran out, we lived off of our credit. We paid a lot of that off, but we're still paying some of that off. Oh my God, I don't want to go through that again. I really don't. But it looks like it's going to happen again. All I have to say is thank God we have stocked up what we have stocked up, right? So all we have to really worry about is paying our mortgage and stuff like that. But this is one of the reasons why we prepare. Is because we never know when this is going to happen. Well, we do, but we don't. We do, but we don't know for how long. Let me just put it to you that way. Plus, I got some good news to tell you at the end of the video. Anyways, so Americans, okay, and this is including hundreds of thousands of federal employees, i.e. Sean, i.e. also military, could soon feel the impact of a U.S. government shutdown. As of Thursday, this Thursday, at 12:01 a.m., if lawmakers don't reach an agreement by Thursday. So, yippee! Here we go again! It's the last day of the fiscal year. That's why Thursday, 12:01 a.m. All right? The federal government will officially close at 12:01 a.m. on Friday morning. Congress is one step closer to a shutdown after Senate Republicans late Monday blocked a bill to fund the government at current levels and suspend the debt ceiling. You know what the debt ceiling is. If it doesn't get raised, guess what? Collapse. Most Americans would notice the disruption in one way or another. Those of us that follow, that don't have our head in the sand, that prepare and that are of the prepared mind, and that don't worry about, oh my God, my new Coach purse, or my new iPhone, or my new this, or my new that. Those of us that are of the prepared mind, like you, me, Trish, Jason, Prepper Now, Pinball, All of us that are of the prepared mind, we know because we stay up to date on these things. Do we not? So many national parks will likely shut down, okay, while mortgage and other loan applications could be delayed because the IRS could stop verifying income, Social Security numbers. According to the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget, or the CRFB, okay, and that's a nonprofit group that focuses on fiscal issues. Now, government services that are deemed essential, right? Typically, tasks important to safety, national security, such as for the border protection, air traffic control, would continue despite the shutdown. Homeland Security, all that, okay? They'll still have to go and do their due diligence, their duty, their work. But guess what? They don't get paid. Ask that one in there. Or just ask me because I'm the one that deals with all the finances. But the disruption would come at a very sensitive time. We're all dealing with this sensitive time. It's not just a few of us that are dealing with it, right? With many Americans struggling to regain their footing amid the ongoing pandemic and the economy grappling with the effects of the new variants, right on. And every shutdown is different. Every single one of them. Meaning how long it lasts. There's different things that go along with each shutdown. The reasoning, the length of time, who gets affected, who gets paid, who does, you know what I mean? Okay. There is a lot of discretion in the agencies about what they can continue to do. Everything that's non-essential has to stop. But there are different definitions of essential work. For instance, there are questions whether work on the arm candy at the FDA and the CDC is considered essential. The biggest impact may be felt by the hundreds of thousands of federal workers who are likely to be furloughed if a shutdown occurs. Now, one of my good friends, Francine, she still lives in New Jersey, she works for the federal government. Okay, she works for Homeland Security, but the department that she works for, she's actually considered an independent contractor. And the last time remember when we were shut down for those 3 months, she was furloughed and didn't get paid. Sean still had to go to work and didn't get paid. So, there's different ways of things happening. It's so strange, and then we also have a friend who works for the FAA. He didn't get furloughed. He had to go to work every day, and he didn't get paid. It's very strange how these things work when you work for different departments of Homeland Security and different departments of the government. It's just very strange. It really is. So you have 2 million, civilian employees, because that's what Sean is considered. He's considered a civilian employee, that are working hard across the country, right on. You have told all of them that there's going to be a shutdown, or maybe a shutdown, and that means that they have to actually stop working on things like the Montana train crash or dealing with the economic calamity caused by the pandemic. The showdown in Congress comes as lawmakers are also debating a hike in the nation's borrowing limit or debt ceiling, adding to the potential political twists and turns. This would be a full shutdown, okay, since Congress hasn't yet passed any funding bills. The last shutdown from December 20th, 2018 to January 25th, 2019 was a partial closure since Congress had already enacted 5 of the 12 appropriation bills. And that means more federal agencies would likely to be affected in a new shutdown. The partial, shutdown in 2018-2019 was a record-setting 35 days. Now, it may have only been 35 days, but Sean didn't actually get a paycheck. I think it was for like 2-3 months, something like that, because they had to wait. They had to wait for some reason. I can't remember what that reason was. What was it? There was something. I can't remember what it was. But man, they had to give us a letter. Homeland Security had to give us a letter to give to all of our creditors, including because we have our mortgage through Wells Fargo. We had to give it to Wells Fargo. We had to give it to the electric company, the water company, T-Mobile. We had to give it to Geico, stuff like that. We had to give it to everybody. And the only one that wasn't willing to work with us was the electric company. Go figure. But yeah, everybody else worked with us. And wow, to play catch up with that was insane. But that was before I had my YouTube channel and I had a little bit of income coming in and stuff like that. So, can't wait for that to start again. Now, the record-setting 35 days, which reduced economic growth in the final 3 months of 2018 by $3 billion. Now, each federal agency would have its own shutdown plan, which is coordinated by the Office of Management and Budget. Those efforts would determine which government activities would stop until the political impasse between Democrats and Republicans is resolved and funding is renewed. But all essential services would continue. Now, these are the services that have been maintained in prior shutdowns: border protection, in-hospital medical care, air traffic control, law enforcement, power grid maintenance. Now, all full government shutdown would likely impact more federal workers than the prior partial shutdown in 2018. It could be similar in scope to shutdowns in 2013 and 2018, when about 850,000 of 2.1 million non-postal federal workers were furloughed. The group estimated in 2018 episode about 380,000 federal workers were furloughed. Furloughed federal workers aren't allowed to work during a shutdown. Like I said with my friend Francine, she couldn't go to work because she's considered an independent contractor for the federal government. So she couldn't even go to work. Whereas Sean, because he's law enforcement with the federal government with Homeland Security. He still had to go to work, hence not getting paid though, okay? Now, like I said, federal workers aren't allowed to go to work during a shutdown. They don't get paid while they're off, but would eventually receive pay once the logjam is resolved. Right. But a lot of places, like I said, a lot of debtors, even sometimes some mortgage companies, they don't want to hear that. So, like, oh, well, once the government's up and running and I get a paycheck, they're like, I don't care. I don't care. So, but that disruption could have a wider economic impact. Now, according to American Federation of Government Employees, Public Policy Director Jacqueline Simon, it's not only the federal employee who suffers when there's no paycheck on payday. And no, it's not just the employee. Okay, it's the family. It's the family. It's the public. Okay. It's the landlord doesn't get paid. And once again, it's like, with the whole moratorium, those landlords, they suffered big time. And now here we go again. Those landlords are going to suffer again. It's the credit card companies that don't get paid. It's the utility companies that don't get paid. It's the grocery stores. You can't buy groceries, so the grocery store. Yeah, I mean, I know, oh, well, these are companies, they get paid. I understand that. But now you can't put food in the bellies of your loved ones. Your lights don't get turned off because the electric company doesn't care. So now, like, would benefits of like Social Security and Medicare be impacted? No. That's because Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid are mandatory spending programs, which means they aren't subject to annual appropriations. So that's a good thing. So if you are on those programs, the Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, you don't have to worry, okay? But while the government would continue to disperse payments for Social Security recipients and people covered by Medicaid, Medicare, other services could be disrupted, okay? For instance, like benefit verification, all right, as well as card issuance would be halted during a shutdown. And that could create problems for some, as benefit verification is sometimes required when people apply for loans, mortgages, and other services that require proof of income. Now, the post office will still be delivering mail, okay, because they don't rely on federal tax dollars for its operating budget. In an unrelated change, though, however, the Postal Service delivery standards would slow for some patrons beginning on Friday, okay? But that's due to an ongoing operational overhaul that Postmaster Louis DeJoy has said will staunch billions of dollars in losses and put the agency on a path to profitability. Yes, Banks, I hear you. Now, it's possible, okay, that national parks could be shut down. If a shutdown occurs, the IRS might not be able to provide its normal services, verifying income of Social Security numbers, that type of thing, okay? Now, funding for the food stamp program. Now, listen up on this because I know a lot of us are on food stamps, okay? It's also called, supplemental, nutrition assistance program, or SNAP, all right, is mandatory, but the government's ability to distribute the benefits to its 42 million recipients could be impacted. I didn't say it will be. I said it could be impacted. So keep an eye on your benefits. All right. Now, this is what else could be impacted. Many more government agencies and programs could be halted, although it's unlikely that Americans could be aware of many other of these disruptions. In the 2018 shutdown, agencies including the National Science Foundation, Fish and Wildlife Services, U.S. Geological Survey, Environmental Protection Agency, National Institute of Standards and Technology, NOAA, or NOAA. Okay, so there's a lot to know about and to think about. Okay, when I say this is going to impact, get ready for a punch in the gut. Okay? I hate when they do this. I really do. It's the only bad thing about Sean working for the government. It really is. All right. That's all for this video, guys. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fear less. Oh yeah, good news. Guess who got medical exemption from the arm candy? This girl. Ciao.